Why isn't my gimbal quite right? Let's see. Right, but then, let's see, can we adjust it a little bit? Turn off and on. I think that's better. Hey Catty, how are you? Hope we have sound. Yeah, that's a bit better, I think. So, we have the cult or Scientology just down yonder. And it's absolutely freezing here today. Oh, that's good, my sound is good. Absolutely freezing. I'll have to keep pulling down my woolly hat to make sure my ears are covered. I haven't left anything behind me there, have I? No, I haven't. Oh. But the good news is it's not raining and it's not windy. It's just bloody Baltic, lads. Absolutely freezing here. Oh my goodness, it's so cold. What am I doing out here? Out in the freezing cold when I could be at home, wrapped up in a nice and warm. Yeah, no, I'll be grand, Catty. Once I get used to it, like I've enough layers on me. I've got 5 layers of clothes on me. And if I need it, I have a warmer jacket in my backpack. Hi Big Chief, how are you? We're just heading down to the Dublin org of the cult or Scientology. And a few cars parked outside, so I wonder are they... Let's give you a view of it there. Like it's a massive building that they have when you see it from the side. A massive building for what? A couple, for fuck all members. It's an absolute waste when you think this place could have been used to build a school or something useful, or an actual real community centre. Hey Joe, how are you? Okay, cool Joe, work away with the doggies. Doggies come first. Hi Miriam, how are you? Oh, they got someone in the high-vis jacket just standing outside here, so I wonder... Yeah, it looks like the car park is full. So I wonder if the Irish dancing lad's back again. There's a couple of cars parked there to the side. Oh, there's nothing stopping them parking there. Just wait for the bus to go by. Oops. Waiting for the safe to cross. Take it. There we go. They're quite... Phone's a bit lopsided, but I guess that's okay. Just hold it a bit lopsided. Just have a wee peek in before we go to a normal spot. To do the cars parked all the way down. There's just enough room for cars to come in and out, which is good. I'm not sure about that one there on the corner. Doesn't look like the best place to be parking. Cars parked all along there. this their front isn't. There's still enough. I guess there's still enough space for emergency vehicles to get in there to the front, which is good. Hey Sophia, how are you? We're just at the Dublin org of the cult of Scientology. Oh, someone is cutting the grass. Not sure if I can get you guys a view of that. Don't want to get too close to the entrance. Don't want to be upsetting anybody. Let's see, go around the front, see what we can see. There's some sort of event on in there today, alright, that their car park front and back is busy. Oh look, they even have a sign out. Car park is full. So I guess people just keep driving until they find oh look at this. That's nice. All the toys they have in the back there. This is what annoys me, lads, in general. People parking on the pavements. It really does irritate me, cars parked on the pavements, because pavements are for people. And like when you think, like, that's a cycle track there. So if you were here in a mobility scooter, I suppose there is enough room to get by, but even still, pavements are not for cars. And I also hate on-street parking as well. I didn't think that strokes my right to use the pavement. Does bother me. Oh hi Lord Cade Smith, yeah, beware the Scientologists. Exactly. You're right. And they're escaping body Satans. Hey cats, on your... Oh no, someone lost their kitty cat. Oh no. Keep an eye out for Frank. Although I think when a cat goes missing, I don't know, did he ever turn up again. So tell me this, if this cult has nothing to hide, why do they need this railing all the way around? With all the trees, all them tall trees and the hedge there, blocking the view. If you have nothing to hide, why would you need to cover yourself in so much secrecy? So we'll just walk up to the front here. So as you can see, the only way in and out of the cult of Scientology here in Dublin is down at the far end that we just come from there. Down a long windy path to get in through the front door, which we'll have visibility of once you get here. There's no nice little front entrance, even for pedestrians to walk down into this org, which to me, that in itself is highly dubious. Oh yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, make sure you're subbed and like the live. Thanks very much. Well, it's pretty. Car park most definitely is full in there, alright. Absolutely chock-a-block today. Still more people heading in. Absolutely busy in there. Oh. I wonder, is that the... Are dancing in there again, or is it gymnastics? Definitely another of the children friendly events, and I use the word friendly very loosely. I wouldn't exactly call the cult the best place to be having your kids for the day. Hey Hans Christian, how are you? We're just outside the Dublin org of the cult of Scientology, and they have another children's event on here today. I'm not sure if it's gymnastics or the Irish dancing again this time, but they do tend to offer They offer the use of the space here very cheap, very cheap. Something like, I think it's a grant for the use of the premises here to the local children groups and whatnot. So it's all done very sneaky, and I don't like it. So the best I can do is turn up here in my high-vis gear, and I'll set up my post in a bit, and just maybe plant a few seeds of doubt with our kids that maybe this place they're not as friendly or as harmless as they seem. So if they are very sneaky, but like I understand why people do it. When you've been offered a place free of charge for very little money, why would you look to gift portion them out? But at the same time, would you accept a big bag of cash off of, say, a drug dealer? Do you know what I mean? So, the clock is down for a bit while I set up all my gear. I have a nice range of signs I'm just going to set up. I'll leave them there for a second. Let's see, can we find Roger to keep you guys company? Can I move this without? There now. Roger will keep you guys entertained for a bit. Perhaps I could put on some of Joe's Christmas tunes. Would be an idea. What's on here? Oh, yes. Let's play some tunes.
Information is fleeting, sanity takes its toll. Saving planet Earth, but every time the phone stops ringing, they question what's going on.
Hope Roger kept you company there. Hey, where's the hunter? Exactly, Roger does not want to see any more kids in Scientology. Of course, we have Jamie Muster's book there, Child X. If you haven't already read it, I'd highly recommend you read that, lads. And I'd even say, gift your friends Child X for Christmas. And if they have a birthday coming up, I gift it to them as well. Hey Brian, how are you? I'm still to catch up on your live last night, Brian. I've so many lives to catch up on when I have a few moments. And of course, I'll just give you a look. I have my high-vis hat on me with, can you see that cult? And on me, around my neck, I have a little poster, which is, which one have I got around my neck? It's the same wording that I have on this sign here, because I think it's important wording to show the cult, which is stop forcing disconnections, child auditing is abuse, and no more kids in Scientology, because that is what we all want to see. And just hopefully it will plant a few seeds it out, particularly with all the parents of the kids in here, as to why I might be out here protesting by Sunday when there's so many other things I could be doing at home, particularly in the warmth is one thing. So on this sign we have called Scientology, learn why we protest at fsciento.space, helping to end their abuse. And on this one we have nothing but truth here, lads. Scientology is a cult, elder abuse, child abuse, money scam, among other things. It's like a bit windy, we can see the leaves are blowing around there a little bit. And this is one example of the sneaky thing Scientology will do, is that all of these here are common front groups that Scientology operate under. And they don't make it very clear or transparent that these are Scientology. So we'll just go through them there. Warning, cult of Scientology. We have Dianetics, Narcanon, their vulture ministers, Way to Happiness, Applied Scholastics, and then we have a drug-free world, truth about drugs, Criminon, Fight for Kids, United for Human Rights, Youth for Human Rights, Citizens Commission for Human Rights, and most of them are basically Scientology saying that psychiatrists are bad, including all drugs, including life-saving medication that people take, say, for epilepsy or cancer drugs. So probably the ones we're most likely to see out and about, particularly coming up to Christmas, will be Dianetics, and Truth About Drugs will be another one to look out for. Way to Happiness and their volunteer ministers. So that's something to worth keeping an eye on, lads, when you're out and about, particularly at market, Christmas market events, to see they don't have any sneaky stalls, or even that there's no one out trying to give out Dianetic flyers or entice people in to do a free personality test. Oh hey Haggis, how are you? Yeah, Sophie, I'd go with that. Better layers are essential, and a good cozy sweater is one of the best. Yeah, I have 5 layers on me today. I have a merino wool base layer pants on top. I have a t-shirt on over that. I have a lovely thick hoodie. I have a lovely thick hoodie that goes up goes up as far as here, it's keeping the neck nice and warm. I have a mid-layer jacket on underneath, and then I have my high-vis jacket. And if it gets too cold, I have a warmer jacket I can swap the high-vis one for. But for now, well, you're minus. We're about 9 degrees here, but it feels more like 4 or 5. But you got the minus, oh wow, that really is freezing. That's making me feel warm already. And then we have this side, which is something I'd urge. So we have touch assist, is not scientific, for pain relief, consult medical professionals, stop the abuse. And that's something I'd urge everybody to do, is to always seek proper medical advice rather than any of these pseudosciences that has popped up. There seems to be a lot of them under the disguise of health and wellness. Now, there's nothing wrong with alternative therapy and methods, but I'd always listen to doctors' advice and to take anything in conjunction with rather than instead of. And of course we have this one, which is a message we would dearly love the org to hear and to really take in and think about is stop forcing disconnections. Child auditing is abuse. No more kids in Scientology. And that is the same wording that I have on the one I have around my neck as well, because I think it's an important message to give them. Oh, and of course we have what have I done? Oh, what am I doing? These fingers of mine. Oh, dear God, what am I doing? One of these days I'll learn how to use this device. And here we have Jamie Mustard's book, A Child X, which I highly recommend you guys check out and read if you haven't already. It's based on Jamie's story of growing up as a child in Scientology, but his story is by no means unique. A lot of kids all over the world has experienced similar levels of abuse that Jamie has done. And in fact, Robert Dam has written a book on, I can't remember the name of the book. It's in Danish at the moment, but hopefully there will be an English version of it released, which is based on stories he's accumulated from children from all over Europe that grew up in the cult of Scientology and the horrific experiences that they went through. So that shows that it's not isolated to one particular org or one particular country. The abuse is systematic, top down, up down, whatever way you slice the onion, there's abuse there. Do you know what, Brian? If God did answer that question, I'd probably wet myself. I'm wondering who the fuck got in. Hi Kel, how are you? We're outside the Dublin org of the cult of Scientology. Hey Antics, how are you? Oh, let me show you Roger in his new little vest. There's Roger in his new little vest. Not sure if the ore is coming through. Now I think can you guys see the ore coming through on Roger's vest there? Oh, oops. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make him a new vest where I'm going to do the ore. I'll do the ore in material. In the I have some glow in the dark gold I'll do the ore in next time. Now let me turn off the alerts off my phone. I'll turn off the alerts. Let's put that to sleep mode. There we go. And the tunes we're listening to here are JoJo tunes. So JoJo has created us some lovely Christmas tunes with a twist. It's very busy in there today. The front and back car park is full, all the way along the side. They've even parked a little bit there up yonder on the pavement. So I'm not sure if it's a gymnastics type of event or if it's Irish dancing. I haven't seen any obvious signs that it's Irish dancing, so I'm kind of veering on it might be. Oh, hang on, maybe she has a sash on her. I think it might be the Irish dancing, based on a few of the hairdos I've caught a glimpse of there. Might be the Irish dancing, which probably makes sense then. I hope this is the final then, and that's the end of it. Yeah, that's definitely an Irish dancing dress that girl is on. Well, I guess they're not, they don't have that very many members, so they don't need much in the way of parking. Well, like it's strange though, if you're offering this space to the Irish dancing crowd, surely a stipulation of that would be you need somewhere for everyone to be parking their cars. Because like you're not walking in here off the roadway or readily getting buses. You know, you're travelling by car, and yet they fuck all space in the car parks. So badly designed here, lads. Oops. Hey Jennifer, how are you? We're outside the Dublin org of the Cult of Scientology. A friendly beep there. Oh cool, looks like that girl won. Nice. It's a nice big trophy anyway, the loading into the car. Yeah, Brian was live last night, well last night his time, which was early in the morning for us. So it's one I'll have to catch later. So it's not bad here today. It is a bit cold. Like it's about 5 degrees, but it's not raining and it's not windy, which is good. So my signs all laid out there. I'm wondering maybe I should spread out my signs. I might spread out my signs a little bit more. Make it that bit easier for people to cast their eye on them. Actually, do you know what? I might put some on the other side of me as well, I think. Put some down here, I think. And as the wind is not likely to be a factor today, I think I can safely spread them out a bit. Get these ones together because they're the same message. So let's spread this out a little bit. Oops. Yeah, I think that's probably better to have them spread out a little bit like that. Oh, I'm missing people. Oh, hey Rika, how are you? We're here outside hey Pinky. We're here outside the Dublin org of the Cult of Scientology. And I'm out here in all my high-vis gear, and I have me what you call this, an old high-vis poster thing around my neck. Try and maximise the visibility to these guys and to give them their important message of stop forcing disconnections, child auditing is abuse, and no more kids in Scientology. And we're listening to some wonderful tunes by our wonderful Jojo Bananas. Some lovely Christmas tunes she's created that has a bit of a twist. Oh, fantastic antics. Manning will have a small crew out with them today. Absolutely fantastic. If one of my lovely mods could put Manning's link in the chat, that would be absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I'm not exactly warm and toasty, but I'm warm enough. I do have a warmer jacket in my backpack if I need to swap it for the high vis, but I prefer to have the high vis on because the Scientologists in there can't fail but to see me, and I know they don't like me being out here in the high vis. And just maybe they might pay attention to my wording and maybe just consider, why would I feel the need to come out here every weekend to display a message to them to say stop forcing disconnections, child auditing is abuse, no more kids in Scientology? Why would I drag my arse out of my comfy chair, out of the warmth, where I could be very happily and contently, I could be at home right now knitting. So maybe why would I be out here in the cold? So I'm just hope I do help to plant a few seeds of doubt. Oh yeah, I'll show you Roger. Roger has himself a nice little sweater vest on him there, where I built in a little, I hope that comes up okay, I built in a little oar for him. So there's a little oar built into the front there. And I have to say, it wasn't easy to make that little vest for him. Because one thing I did find out, Roger isn't built quite the same as normal boys. For one thing, look at his head. His head is way too big. Like normally, your head is not bigger than the width of your shoulders or your hips. But Roger's head, flip me man, it's absolutely massive. But I am going to make Roger a new vest where I'm going to use glow-in-the-dark wool to make the oar. And I'm going to do it all as one piece with buttons in the back to button up for him. It'll just make it that bit easier. He'll be able to walk into it rather than having to step into it. Takes a bit of manoeuvring to get him into his vest. But like, he needs his vest. You know, in this kind of weather, he needs a vest on him. Oh, thanks very much, Joe. Oh, I do have a life, Rob. Thanks for asking, though. I very much so have a life. I'm living my best life out here in the free world. Unlike Scientologists who are not free to do what they want. I'm free to come out here on a Sunday afternoon if the desire should take me. And to display all my wonderful artwork here, displaying truthful messages about the evils of the cult of Scientology. See, that's what we can do. Us who are free and are cult free. Yeah, he probably does have a big brain. I'm not quite sure though, Kathy. Is Roger adult size or is he child size? Because like he is a first cousin to Xenu. And like they're alien beings from a faraway planet that live for the eternal beings that live for billions and trillions and billions of years. So I can't quite make up my mind, is he still a child that's grown into an adult or is he still adult size? Or maybe eternal beings. Maybe the concept of a child or adult doesn't exist with him. But he is perfect. He is absolutely perfect just the way he is. And he has his own little signs here, calling out his own messages where he says, stop the abuse cult and no more kids in Scientology. Oh, thanks very much, Room. Yeah, check out fsciento.space, which we have up here on one of our signs. We have Cult Scientology, learn why we protest at fsciento.space, helping to end the abuse. And of course we've listed here some of the more commonly known Scientology funk creeps. This isn't all of them now, lads, it's just merely some of them. Oh, I am, yeah. Pardon? Oh, a strange question. Oh, just a chap down there asking me, was I recording and why I was recording, I think. I'm like, why wouldn't I be recording? Why shouldn't I? It's my right as a free human being to record in public. Now, it might be my autistic brain, but I don't get what point is he making? That I shouldn't be recording or what, like. Now, I will admit, it is strange I am live recording here because there isn't much to be seen. Like, I mean, some friendly beeps there. I love to see the passer-by, obviously, are appreciative of what I do. I always think that's a strange question to ask someone, why are you recording? Why shouldn't I? What difference is it to you, mate? Like, if you mean that you'd prefer I didn't record, well then, yeah, no problem, we can have a conversation about it, you know what I mean? Oh, I wouldn't mind, I'd love a coffee. Well, I'd love an Irish coffee to keep the cold out. Thanks very much, Miriam. Yeah, we're protesting against the abuses of Scientology outside the Dublin org of the cult of Scientology. Yeah, I like that, Sophia. Yes, he is a mature alien. Ah, fantastic. Jamie's graphical novel drops on Tuesday. Fantastic. I'll keep an eye out for that. And we have, of course, we have Jamie's book here with us today. We have Jamie's book, A Child X, detailing his experiences of growing up as a child in the cult of Scientology and the horrific abuses he encountered. Are you Scientologists yourselves or just?
I haven't a clue what it is, look.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, no, so we're not a dance competition.
We're just at a dance competition inside, that's all.
Yeah, yeah. Nah,
What's
they're
Scientology, is it?
Why are they up there in there?
well, they're everywhere, they're worldwide, but they're abusive cult.
They're abusive, are they?
There's a lot of abuse goes on. Every
Yeah.
which way you swing it. Like I have there, that's just a summary: elder abuse, child abuse, and it's a money scam.
Oh, it's a money scam, alright. The dead word.
But that isn't. But it isn't just. If it was just a money scam, you'd say fair enough.
Yeah.
But the practices they do, Scientology is built on a book called Dianetics, written by L. Ron Hubbard in 1950s,
Yeah.
when he used to take all sorts of psychotic medication and whatnot that he self-prescribed himself. There's a lot of abuse written into the book, and then the practices they do, like they'll have children on what they call the D-meter, where you hold 2 cans. It has a needle on it. It's basically just measuring the resistance of water in your skin, so they think you're lying. They'll ask you questions like, this is even to children, they'll ask them, have you any thoughts about sleeping with your brother or your sister?
Oh, it's madness.
All
isn't it?
sorts of things like that, and you're just there. Well, that's not really a suitable question to be asking a child.
Definitely
But even
not.
at that, you shouldn't even be asking. It's like
It's inappropriate question to ask a
it's
child.
sort of like confession, but with a twist. It's more like an interrogation, and like children shouldn't be subjected to that.
Definitely not. Definitely
And
not.
that's just a small sample. But if you do want to know more about their abuses, I'd highly recommend checking out Jamie Mustard's book, A Child X. Let's stick the music on there again. There now, we have some music on. What a strange thing to say. To pop into someone's life and to ask them to shut up. How's it going? How are you?
What is that? Stop what for?
Stop forcing disconnections.
Oh, this, yeah, that's,
What they'll do is, if you decide you can no longer handle being a Scientologist anymore because they're highly abusive cult,
yeah,
you decide you no longer want to be a member,
yeah.
your family and friends who remain inside are forced to disconnect from you. It's not a choice, they're forced to disconnect.
I was getting it all disconnected.
You know, and if you decide to stop, say, I don't know really if you're religious, if you stop going to mass,
Yeah.
all your family and friends aren't told, oh no, you can't talk to.
No, that's
Do
right.
you know what I mean? So that is where, and then they do a practice of they do child auditing, which is, it's sort of like, the closest thing that we had to understand is it's like confession, but it's more like interrogations. It's more like they're asked questions. They have this thing they call an E-meter. That is basically, it's a cheap version, say, of a lie detector test. But it's very unsophisticated. It's basically just measuring the water resistance in your skin.
Yeah.
Which if somebody is interrogating you, you're going to be fucking sweating.
Right.
So that's where, and they'll ask you all sorts of questions. Even to children, they'll say, oh, have you any unclean thoughts? Have you been masturbating?
Yeah.
Do you want to sleep with your brother? Do you want to sleep with your sister? All this kind of stuff. So that's where it's highly abusive. And like what adults want to do, you're there.
Can
Well,
we talk about that in there? No? We let you in there?
or if I was to go in there, they call the guards on me and say I was trespassing.
Oh.
And if you have a problem, say, with a Catholic church, you can talk to a priest about it.
Yeah.
Sit down and have a proper conversation. You can't have a conversation with these guys. once they find out that you're against Scientology,
Yeah.
that is it. They get very antagonistic.
Scientology.
So that in itself tells you there's a clear, distinct difference between a religion and a cult.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? But if you are looking for a book to get, one I'd highly recommend getting is Jamie Muster's book called X.
Okay.
He's a child he grew up in Scientology as a child, and this is his experience of growing up in it. And his experience is by no means unique. There's a book that's been written in Denmark that's based on children that grew up in Europe in Scientology, and they've had very similar experiences to Jamie's.
Does that go on here in this country?
It's
Or is it hidden?
It's hidden. It's not what they're very good at doing is they're very good at creating fake PR for themselves. And anyone that does speak out, that does leave and speaks out,
Yeah.
they'll harass them to fucking be Jesus. That you're afraid to speak out. Well, you know you're going to be harassed. They'll follow you around. They'll work out where you live, where you work. They'll send all sorts of
Some people again, yeah.
They'll send all sorts of documents and photographs and things to your employer and things, and they'll make up all sorts of lies and exaggerate the truth and all sorts.
And you have to prove it.
And that is where well then you're not going to speak out on that, because that's where they're like, and even people who are brought lawsuits against them, they've settled out of court because of the harassment and what they call fair gaming. So it's, you know, yeah. Hi, I used to see, how are you? I switch back on the music there. How have I done? Am I playing from the start or am I continuing on? I think I'm continuing on. He slashed his fingers on mine. Hey, the journey, how are you? We're out here outside the Dublin org of the cult of Scientology. Oh, hey, Mike. It sucks that the only thing we can do is plead with people not to join, like the courts and governments do not back up citizens and protect us from those sickos. Exactly, Mike. Hey, Glenn, I imagine it's just wealthy Southsider members in. Hey, Donna, if only Glenn, if only it was wealthy members. But what they'll do is they'll get people in to do the free personality test. They'll offer them, come in, do a free course. If you're having a problem trying to stay off drugs, they'll offer their fake Narcanon, their fake drug rehabilitation program. If you don't have the money to pay for the courses, they'll say, oh, don't worry about that. Come in and work for us. If you spend, say, 50 hours working for us a week, oh yeah, well sure, we'll supplement your courses. We'll supplement your auditing. So if only it was the wealthy. And they'll also encourage people to get into debt. And they'll even help them ways of exploiting the banking system to take out mortgages that they couldn't possibly pay for, how to get loans, how to rack up credit card debt. They'll even be actively encouraged to commit fraud by, even if it's a joint account, by signing the wife's name on checks and things like that. There's all sorts of devious and underhand things they've done over the years, and this is all over the world. And I agree with you, Mike, it does suck. That all we can do is spread awareness, which is why I'm out here. I have my posters here. There's nothing on these posters that isn't the truth, lads. I've thought about this wording, I put a lot of thought in this wording, and it's all factual and true. And then on me I have, let me switch around. So I have a high-vis, woolly cap on me with the word cult on it. High-vis jacket on me, and then I have the high-vis placard on me as well. That basically has the same wording on it as this one, which is what we would love to see the cult doing. Stop forcing disconnections. Child auditing is abuse, and no more kids in Scientology. So the best we can do really is to come out here, raise awareness, plant some seeds of doubt. Why would a lady like me be out here of a Sunday afternoon protesting against Scientology when there's a billion by far nicer and pleasanter things I could be doing? And I do think it is, like, it's a pity, like this place here opened up in 2017. They were able to open up and operate here largely because the land here was already zoned for was already zoned for religious use because there was an Anglican, not Anglican, was Anglican. It is Anglican, isn't there? There was an Anglican church here before that. That was that in itself. I'm not sure how authentic a church it was, or if that itself was a cult. Because the Anglican church that was here has their mothership, if you like, was based in the Philippines. I can't for the life of me think of what they called it, but they went bust here in, I think, 2003, where they owed something like 20 million in debt. So this place got sold on the cheap. Like Scientology bought this place for 6 million, where a few years before that it was worth like 16 million. So they got a right bargain on it. But the reason why they're able to open up here was because it was already deemed as a place for worship. Even though we know they're not a church, we know they're not a religion, we know they're a cult. So as to how we still allowed them to open up here. So the governments of this world do not have our backs. I think it's up to us to stand up for what we believe is right. And this is what I believe is the right thing to do, is to spread awareness. They're real stretchy. You must have a very dubious definition of what a religion is. It most certainly is not a religion, and it's not a church, it's a cult. I would agree with that, Sophia. Most countries underestimate them and are intimidated by the liars, yeah. Like they don't pay their staff members a living wage. And yet they have a massive war chest that they're able to employ the best solicitors and lawyers that money can buy. So that in itself tells you there's something very much wrong with the cult of Scientology. Why do they need to spend so much money on lawyers and solicitors? But what I do think is fundamentally wrong is the way they're able to use the wording Church of Scientology when we know they're not a church and not an authentic religion. So why don't we have the word church as being a protected word? Now maybe it's possibly hard to define then what is a church. And I guess nobody wants to take on that task. Right, Sophia, just because some countries acknowledge it doesn't make it a religion. Exactly, and particularly when you look into the history and you find out there's a lot of corruption went on for them to get tax exempt status in both Australia and in America. Right, Joe, it's a fake ass religion, scamming people out of their hard earned cash, taking out credit cards and make them bankrupt. A true religion would never do that, exactly. A religion would say, if you can't afford to, well, they don't charge you to go to Mass. You go to Mass every Sunday, is free of charge. If you don't have the money to buy a Bible, they'll give you a Bible free of charge. Yeah, it's not Anglican, it's not Presbyterian. I always forget, I'm going to have to start writing down the name of that church I was here before, because I always forget the name of it, or what branch of Christianity it claims to be part of. No, it's gone, I can't think of it. It's not Anglican, it's not Presbyterian. It's one of those Christian religions that are loosely based on where they have a pastor. which seems to be that anyone can just decide to call themselves a pastor, as opposed to be part of an organised religion. Oh, exactly. I used to see they have a lot of money, but there'll always be more and worse. Exactly. And one thing that we can do is we can encourage former members to speak out. And on that note, so if there are any former members out there, I totally recommend that you guys check out their website, victimsofvoices.com, which among other things contains some survivor stories, support and resources are available, legal help on how to report Scientology abuses. It goes into detail how you can report them to both law enforcement and then alternatively through the court system, through the civil courts. So definitely, that is definitely worth checking out if you have been a Scientologist, particularly if you've ever been trafficked to the United States. I've seen bits of your map to journey. Let me see, am I missing anything there? And Haggis is rightly saying it's a worldwide relay say scam that abuses kids and the elderly and financially bankrupt people. That's a fantastic way to put it, Haggis. Oh, exactly. I used to see where abusing children is done under the guise of religion in some countries. Exactly. And it's where I think we live in a world where we understand more about mental health and child abuse. That, for instance, a 12-year-old marrying a fully grown man in his, well, of any age, not just in his 50s or 60s, is wrong. That is child abuse. Excellent point, I guess. How many religions interrogate you and punish you and give you a 100k bill when you decide to leave? Exactly. Mike Roll said there's crazy people come to them like they're offering nothing. Well, I guess if you're caught at a vulnerable stage in your life and you're looking for answers, if you need help from somewhere and you don't know where else to get it. And then if you think of the, hey Ernie, how are you? If you think of the cult's tactics is they'll go through the avenue of offering a free personality test. They'll offer free courses for how to mend relationships, the ones on self-confidence. They have a course basically on everything. And if you think of it, if you're at a vulnerable low point in your life, maybe you've just gone through a bereavement, maybe you've lost your partner, maybe you've lost your parents, a nice pretty lady or bloke approaches you on the street and says, oh, would you fancy coming in to do a free course or a free personality test? Do you fancy popping into a nice little office? We'll give you a cup of tea and a biscuit. Do you know what I mean? You'd be tempted. Because you'd be thinking, what's the harm in going in for a free chat to do a free personality test? But there is a lot of harm. Because if you consider it, this is where, what am I trying to say? Like for instance, you wouldn't look at a 50-foot cliff and say, oh, what's the harm of jumping off this cliff? Sure, there's a nice pool of water there to catch me. Do you know what I mean? LTE25 says, church is the people, not the building. Church is the people, not the building. No, No, church is the building. So the church will be a building rather than people. So, yeah. Yeah, no, I wouldn't agree with that now. Church is the people, not the building. I wouldn't agree with that. Church is most definitely the building. It's a place to congregate the people, alright. Thanks very much, Miriam. If you would all be so kind as to subscribe to my channel and to like the live, that would be great. Real Stretchy says, don't the church pass the donation ball round? Has to be left in wills, etc. Also be just what's the difference? Well, the difference is the level of abuse, Stretchy. That yeah, there's a lot of abuse that goes on in today's world. Pardon? Pardon? I'm recording kids. What a strange question. Yeah, that's fair enough. I'm not here for the. I'm not here for the dance competition. I'm here for Scientology. I'm in a public place. I'm allowed to film in a public place, and I record for my own safety to prove here I'm on public property. I'm not recording your kids, missus. And if you're that worried, you can see where my camera is. Fuck's sake. So Karens are alive and well here in Ireland, lads. Like, her argument doesn't match. I shouldn't be here because there's a kids event on, and she doesn't want me recording her kids. Well, I'm not going around the building peeking in through windows. Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy sauce, lads. Crazy sauce.
Sorry, Mom and Dad. I gotta go downtown.
Oh, we're definitely against Scientology. We're against the abuses of Scientology. Hey Fuzzy, how are you? So here we have it here. Scientology is a cult. Elder abuse, child abuse, and it's a money scam above everything else. And this is the message we have to all Scientologists all over the world: is stop forcing disconnections. Child auditing is abuse. No more kids in Scientology. Exactly, Peter. But I'm out here in public property. I'm legally entitled to record. I'm not doing anything sneaky or underhand. Like, flip's sake, I'm lit up in high vis. I'm in this spot here, so it's blatantly obvious. I'm not going in around the grounds peeking into windows. I don't have a big long, what you call them zoomy lenses either. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely crazy. Hey, Mr. White. Well, you think so? You would think so. She would be more worried. But there does seem to be a level of, which is also another reason why it's a good idea for me to turn up here in my signs on my high vis, is that people have what's the word? They sort of false safe point to themselves, if you know what I mean. They think they're here, what's the harm? Yeah, we know it's a cult, we know it's abusive, but we're only here for an Irish dance contest. And you're there, well, think about it, work through that logically, lads. It's okay to accept a big bag of cash from, say, a drug lord. Do you know what I mean? Well, that is it, Mike. They can't send their kids out, but from a legal point of view, I'm doing nothing wrong. Legally, I'm allowed to record in public. There is no expectation of privacy in public. I'm not doing anything sneaky or underhand. This is where I've been standing the whole time. I'm not moving around my camera following people about the place. Do you know what I mean? So it's all above board, out in the open. Nothing sneaky or underhand being done. People can see I'm obviously here with my phone out recording. So it's their choice as to whether or not they have children in front of my camera lens. Do you know what I mean? Hey Laura, how are you? We're outside the Dublin org of the cult of Scientology, and I have a nice array of signs out. Our church is brick and mortar. A clubhouse, a social meeting hall. The person is a church. I'll have to think on that one. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it depends on your, yeah. I'll have to think on that one somewhat. I've always considered church being the physical building. Yeah, I'm like, how am I threatening anyone? There is no entrance. I'm nowhere near the entrance to the org. Like you have this railing. The wall and the railing is all the way along. You can see there, it's all the way along. The entrance into the org is way down beyond the bus stop there, down at the very end. And even at that, you've a long windy driveway to get in. Do you know what I mean? So I'm a long way away. Jesus, probably take me a good 5 minutes to be anywhere near the entrance in there to the org. Do you know what I mean? So there's no way I'm threatening anyone. And then there's nothing on my signs that isn't absolutely the truth. All of these signs are completely 100% factual. And they'll stand up in a court of law should Scientology choose to say I have. Well, you can't really say it's hate speech. Friendly advice there, like touch assist is not scientific. For pain relief, consult medical professionals. Stop the abuse. They're just friendly messages. Do you know what I mean? Stop forcing disconnections. Child adulting is abuse. No more kids in Scientology. Nothing wrong with my signs. And Scientology is most definitely a cult. Elder abuse, child abuse, money scam. With plenty of stories from ex-members out there to prove every single word I say there is true. So, and I'm not trying to do anything sneaky or underhanded. I couldn't be more lit up. I have his hat on me with cult on it. I have his jacket. Even I have his sign around my neck. So everything I'm doing here is transparent and out in the open. Do you know what I mean? So good luck to anyone trying to paint a picture that I'm harassing or intimidating or taking illegal pictures of children or anything else. Good luck with that, lads. And then of course we have Roger here with his own little signs. I'll show you Roger's little vest I made him there. In Roger's little vest, where I built in a little oar into the front of a firm. That's to keep him warm on these cold winter days. So even Roger knows. Roger says stop the abuse cult and no more kids in Scientology. He is cute, he's my little pal. He tells me Roger is Xenia's cousin. He crash landed in IKEA on his way to planet Earth to spread a very important message. He wants the whole world to know Xenia was trained by a madman called Lafayette Ronald Hubbard. And that is it, Peter. It's hard to intimidate someone when they know and understand the laws. But it's like everywhere these days, you'll always have Karens who think they know better. Just because someone doesn't like you doing something doesn't mean you should stop when you're doing anything illegal. Hey Rox, how are you? David said, is it legal for an immigrant to film children at playground through the fence? It depends what playground and what fence you're talking about. Like if you're putting your hand through the fence, well then technically your hand is on private property. So that in itself, that would be a trespass offence. And if you're zooming around your camera to try and catch sneaky pictures of children when they're playing on equipment and whatnot, what I'm doing here is I'm filming my signs on the roadside, intermittently filming myself, and I'm filming the org. I'm not specifically filming children. If people happen to walk into my frame, everything is done here out in the open. They can't fail but see me. So if people walk in front of my camera lens, that's on them. I'm not moving around saying, oh, there's children over there. Let's zoom over there and film them. Do you know what I mean? This is where context is everything, lads.
Every time I blink, I see a past life. Was I a space crab or Elron's wife? Get out of my
You ask me what law do we use to stop immigrants filming children? Well, I think that is where, well, there wouldn't be a law specifically to say that immigrants can't film children. That would be where you'd need to look into laws saying, under what circumstances can you film children or not. So there's plenty of laws out there. I'd say use Google as your friend. Google will help you out on the laws of the land, or citizens' advice websites out there. Exactly, Jennifer. No immigrant here because we're all immigrants if you think back to it. If you go back far enough, because even here in Ireland, when did humans first inhabit Ireland? Not that long ago, if you think about it. So about the 6th or 7th century. So in a way, all people are immigrants by default. Because dinosaurs roamed the earth long before any humans. Crocodiles even. Crocodiles and alligators are probably the true inheritance of the earth. Their ancestors roamed the earth long before there's even a hint of a human being. Oh, exactly, I guess it's the way shown the way Scientology say points of public. Very possibly. Maybe even, actually, how do I know that she was just a normal, now that I think of it, how do I know she was just a normal member of the public like me or you, and she wasn't what they call a Scientologist public member? But then she did have the hallmarks of what we'd commonly call a Karen though. Oh, thanks very much, Miriam. Yeah, if you check out Scientology to learn more about Scientology abuses and the global movement, which we do have on one of my signs here, where we have Cult Scientology, learn why we protest at Scientology, helping to end the abuses. And that's what we want to see, end the abuses, lads. I reached a point of time in my life where I'm saying no to any and all abuse. And in particular, Scientology is one of the most abusive organisations I have ever come across. The levels of abuse is absolutely horrific. And that in a nutshell is why I'm out here protesting. Why I come out here with my high-vis signs and my high-vis gear on me. I can't bear the thought of any child, either now or in future, going through even a fraction of the abuse that say Lara, Bianca and Nora went through, that Jamie Mustard went through. And like when you think about worst case scenario, what am I doing? Worst case scenario, I'm wasting my time out here. And I'm perfectly fine with that. Because just maybe I am helping to plant some seeds of doubt. And just maybe someone that would have joined Scientology at some point in the future will think twice and won't join now. Oh yes, thanks very much Osa, or Cathy. Tell Osa and the trolls, be sure to hit the like. Exactly. Oh, thanks very much. I guess Cheryl Lara's link there. Hey Steve, how are you? We're outside the Dublin org of the Cult of Scientology. Hi, thanks very much, Peter. They were saying I thought there was some evidence in Ireland that some of the first allergy in the world. Not sure I know what that means. Oh, there's 11,000 TC. I'm a bit behind on the chat. I think I'm sort of caught up. Well, like Jennifer, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I am. If that's the worst case scenario, I'm wasting my time here. I'm more than happy with that. When I was deciding what form would my activism take, and how I would come out here protesting, that's one of the things I did consider. Yeah, worst case scenario, I'm wasting my time. Perfectly happy with that. It's my free time to use as I see fit. Granted, there's a billion other things I prefer to do. Like right now, I'd prefer to be inside in the warmth, working on my Aaron jumper. But just on the off chance that this is making a difference, and I am helping to plant some seeds it out, and that just maybe in future we can help prevent someone innocently walking in to the cult of Scientology. That to me makes it more well worthwhile. Thanks very much, Lara. Your consistency and word of mouth is doing a lot to take down Scientology down there to keep people in, and that is not. Yeah, they don't like me being out here, and that is also why I have myself decked out in the high vis. You can't fail but see me, and I know the cult doesn't like that. And that is what we can do: is stand up for what you. If you believe in something passionately, stand up for your beliefs. And this, to me, I've thought long and hard about it before I started coming out here. And this, in my heart of hearts, this is what I believe is the right thing to do. I've heard so many stories of survivors, of people who grew up in the cult of Scientology, that I have absolutely no doubt that there is absolutely no good in Scientology. And that is my own personal opinion based on all the stories and everything I've read on Scientology. There is no redeeming quality of Scientology. Like you can say the Catholic Church has been guilty of its own abuses, but there are some redeeming qualities in the Catholic Church. And that there is the difference. It's the level and scope of the abuse. You're right, Miriam, if you want to change you have to do something about it. And then even if you think about it, change doesn't happen overnight. Change is a very slow process. And it typically works by planting those seeds out, slowly changing people's minds. And anyway, the way I look at it is the only way of failing at something is not to try. If you try, by default you're a success, you haven't failed, do you know what I mean? So failure is not trying at all, lads. I think I'll have myself a little drink of water there. My throat is getting a little dry. Oh, thanks very much, Donna. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind to hit the like to show me some support. I'm doing a fantastic job trying to spare the general public. It's like a public service, really. And it's where the governments of the world, they don't have our backs. They don't have our best interests at heart. Now, I know it's all, when it comes to government, it's mostly political, which I don't really understand. But it certainly has been a harsh reality to me, looking into Scientology and how they managed to flourish and survive for 70 plus years. And when you realise that, the British government, the Australian government knew as far back as the 1960s how abusive Scientology is, and still they allowed them to flourish and operate in the open. That to me is just mind-boggling. Well, exactly, Suppresso, and that is where I think it's up to us that when we see something that we know is wrong, it's up to us to stand up and say something about it. And this is my way This is my way of standing up and saying, this is wrong, lads. What Scientology does is wrong. There's no redeeming qualities to Scientology whatsoever. And as to why we allowed them to open this fucking building here, we should not have. And maybe that's where the laws of the land needs to be looked at. How can we protect ourselves in future from more cults moving in, opening up their own buildings? So Scientology reacts to public pressure eventually. So I keep bothering them while staying kind to plant seeds of doubt. I don't mean them any harm. Like, I know, there's no doubt in my mind that Scientology means me harm. They've called the guards on me twice now on previous weekends when I've been out here. So like, they mean to, I have no doubt they mean to do me real harm. They did their best to try and steal my liberty, which I'm doing nothing wrong. I carefully looked into the laws to work out what I am allowed and not allowed to do. And I do exercise caution. Like, I'm nowhere near the exit and entrance to the cult is way down at the far end there. We have railings all the way around. There's no nice little pedestrian entrance within direct line of sight of the cult's door into their building. You know, I could, by rights legally, I could be down at the far end there, or down near their entrance, but I don't. That to me, well, for one, I'd be blindsided by the corner, but that to me would teeter on. You could possibly present a case for harassment and intimidation if I was to be down near the entrance. So here I am, I have myself lit up, high-vis gear on me, couldn't light myself up anymore. I had my, what am I doing now? We have all my signs laid out here against public property. We have Roger here with his own little signs. So there's nothing underhanded sneaking in. Everything I'm doing here is in the open. I'm not going around trying to peek into corners or spy into, say, girls' dressing rooms to get footage or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? And you're right, Sophia. I've forgotten. Sometimes my mind goes off on a tangent that I forget why I was talking. Oh, I'm not photographing kids. Oh yeah, that's fair enough, yeah. Thanks very much. That was another Karen telling me I had no permission to be taking pictures or videos of kids. That's Irish dancing in there. And this is where, that sort of annoys me a bit. And you're not worried that you have them, they're in there in the cult of Scientology. They're your research message. They're a highly abusive cult. They're being subjected to Scientology literature in there. Like they have at least 2 large widescreen TV screens in there playing Scientology TV. Do you know what I mean? So I think they should be more worried about what the kids are doing when they're not doing the Irish dancing or watching the Irish dancing. What are they being subjected to when they're running around the premises in there? That's what I'd be more concerned about, missus. I just say that, let me see, where was I? Sorry, I did a little rant there, but sometimes the way people say things, you get a little bit irritated. When they don't stop to ask themselves a question as to why might I be out here doing this? Like, do I really look like someone that I might get kicks and jollies out of deliberately for them kids, you know what I mean? Like, use your cognitive reasoning here, lads. Anyway, Sophia says, Scientology reacts to public pressure eventually, so keep bothering them while staying kind to plant seeds of doubt in the people. Exactly. And cut off their source of income. If they don't get any more new members, that's going to seriously dry up the coffers. Because their existing members, they've already bled them fucking well and truly dry. Haggis says absolutely. If they have no members, they have no donations and will have to start spending. Oh, they won't do that. They'll have to start spending daily stash money and sell off real estate to stay afloat. I doubt they'll do that, Haggis. When they have no new members, their existing members have no money. Davy is not going to be handing over any of his money, nor will they be selling off the real estate. Only if they have lawsuits that they need to be fighting. But then, that's me with my logical thinking brain, because I'd imagine that if the going got too tough, that Davy would leg it, because he must have billions salted all around the world for him to sneak off to. But then he doesn't exactly think quite the same way as me or you though. So that is a point. Yeah, I have my long locks down today, I do. I probably look like a crazy hippie woman. Yeah, Lara, it's either a Scientologist or it could be a Karen. We do have plenty of Karens here. Or as before the word Karen was invented, a busybody. But it doesn't bother me because if anybody genuinely believes I'm breaking the law, by all means, I'll give you the number to the local Garda station myself, by all means ring them. When you're not breaking the law and you know you're not breaking any laws, I've nothing to fear. I have truth on my side.
They're always watching you. Can't hide your mind.
Miriam says, I would not be surprised if they called the Garda today. Exactly. I have everything on video, yeah. Exactly, nothing sinister, exactly. Like I'm not even walking about. I'm stood literally in the exact same spot, you know what I mean? Oh Jesus, yeah. Oh no, she'd probably go apeshit. I wouldn't deny a Karen. That to me would be akin to poking an angry bear with a stick. But I see what you're saying about yeah, and I'd legally be entitled to put the camera on her and say I'm only filming idiots. Nothing wrong with that. It's my opinion that she is an idiot. And I'll stand, well, she is an idiot and I stand by that in a court of law. But I don't deliberately point my camera at people because I am respectful of that, because I know me myself, I'd like to be wandering about in a public place without featuring on 2 billion live streams, if you know what I mean. Mike Rose says you should be at the entrance if they feel threatened on, oh well, you're well within your rights, show everyone who they are. That's what they're most afraid of, being recognised in public, they are snakes. Yeah, and to be honest, I could stand at the very end down where the entrance is. Now to me, that's teetering a close line between where it could be between threatening or harassment behaviour. But as well to that, on my own safety to think of, like you have a nice long pathway there where I've a lot of visibility, and then the same down this way. So up and down and across, I've plenty of visibility that I can see that there's nobody sneaking up behind me. But down there at the corner, you're blindsided there by a corner, so you don't have a full 360 visibility of your surroundings, if you know what I mean. So that's why I put first and foremost is my own safety, to make sure that nobody can sneak up behind me, that there's no chance of anyone deciding that they're going to either assault me or run into me and try and make it look like I assaulted them, if you know what I mean. And also I have better visibility here from the roadside being here, so that passers by and people in their cars, I do see people in their cars, they do slow down to have a look and they read at my posters. So I do think, all in all, everything considered, where I am is probably the best spot I could pick. There we have wee Roger there with his 2 little signs. We have Jamie Muster's book there, Child X. So if any of you are looking for a gift to get someone for Christmas or even for their birthday, highly recommend buying Jamie Mustard's book, A Child X. That tells Jamie's story of growing up as a child in Scientology and the horrific abuses he experienced. His story is by no means unique and has been experienced by many people who have grown up as a child in Scientology. I highly recommend reading Jamie Mustard's book, A Child X. But like I say, you tell them that it's a child trafficking cult, that they're having a child. Exactly. But like, this is what annoys me. Maybe, rather than being so quick to criticise someone for what they're doing, maybe stop and think. Maybe there's a reason why would I be out here on a Sunday afternoon? It's not exactly warm. It is rather cold. It's about 5 degrees here. The short take is I'm not getting paid to be out here. This is my free time. I work Monday to Friday. I value my weekends and my free time, and yet I've given up my Sunday to be out here. So maybe all the Karens out there, maybe just ask yourselves the question, why would I be out here? Do you know what I mean? Oh, exactly, Joe. Who knows what is going on behind closed doors and what treatment the current members here are experiencing. ICC says Scientology as an entity twists things just like a narcissist, always a manipulation. Yeah, well, I have seen somewhere where they do reckon that Lafayette Ronald Hubbard himself was a malignant narcissist, and that narcissism is something he built into the way he wrote Dianetics. That he does seem to encourage, shall we say, narcissistic traits. Oh, thanks very much, Antics. Oh, thanks very much, Antics. We're saying the Scientologists might encourage Karen to come and complain. Oh, I've no doubt, of course they will. I have absolutely zero doubt. And even when you think about it, like why is that guy filming me? I do not consent there, mate. Why is he filming me there? I don't care, they can film me all they want. I bring them signed autographs, photos if they want. What are they saying? Oh, I've no doubt that the Scientologists would encourage the Karens to come and complain. Absolutely. But like, well, you guys can see exactly what I'm live streaming here. It's not like we have much of a view. Like, we're quite a distance away from the org. And whatever they have on the windows, it's very hard I don't even need to bother zooming in, because even when I zoom in, the camera lens doesn't pick up a fraction of what I can see with my eyes. So I think someone needs to explain to these Karens the concept of people are very small when they're very far away. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like you're seeing much of anything anyway. Antics Sophie got back from the trip to Target to oh, fantastic. OTIs are watching me right now. I wonder. Could well be. They must have some OTs surely here. They have to have some Sea Org. None of the any OTs though. If you're a Sea Org member, you're not necessarily have done any OT levels. Interesting. There mightn't be any OTIs watching me. Maybe that's it, they need some OTIs. ICC says, I always love that what Tori says. Scientology is the worst enemy, they show everyone who they are. Exactly, ICC, exactly. It's like I was saying to that gentleman I was talking to earlier, that if you had a disagreement with say the Catholic Church, You could go in, sit down and have a civil half-hour conversation with your local parish priest. These guys, because I'm an SP, I can't have a civil conversation with any current Scientologist for me to say, this is why I think you're an abusive cult. Do you know what I mean? Irish has OT 9 and 10 calories. I wouldn't mind the winter warming hot Irish whiskey, that's for sure. Right about now, I'll have one of them later. Agus says, hi, Osa, Kirsten, Catano, Peterson, Hendrik Moxon, you're all complicit in covering up child sexual abuse and human trafficking. Absolutely. They're two prime candidates out of crime cancer alongside Davis McCabbage. Miriam was saying, yeah, it's so true, I see it's hard for them to stick to the truth. I don't think they know what the truth is anymore. Yep, secrets always reveal deception. Oh, exactly, Rox. I always need to be safe out here, which is exactly why I prefer to stand here, where I have clear visibility up and down the road and behind me. Whereas at the entrance exit down there, I'd be blindsided. And I always make sure to go live before I get here, and then I keep the live going until I'm safely away, so that I do have the... Oh, I'm protesting against Scientology.
But you're filming minors.
I'm not filming any minors.
There's all minors in that window, I can see them.
Oh yeah, you can see them, but the camera can't see them.
Yeah, and what about kids that are playing here?
Well, they can see my camera.
Yeah, but the camera can still see the kids. This is a dance competition.
Yeah, that's fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, so they're minors, they're not part of Scientology.
I haven't filmed any minors.
They're still in the camera though.
Have you? Oh, well, if you want to show me where exactly they are, be my guest.
I can see about 3 of them right there.
Have you ever used a camera? Well,
Yeah.
a camera sees is very little compared to our eyes.
Yeah, but still, you can still see them, they're still minors.
Well, I'm here protesting Scientology. Matter of opinion. I don't know, lads. I think there's an education piece there lacking. Oh yes, I agree, Antics. Miriam was absolutely fantastic yesterday. Absolutely agree 100%. Yeah, thanks very much. Miriam sharing the link there for Child X, which I highly recommend you guys get, is Child X, written by Jamie Mustard. When protest season teaches you something new, lol. What's this all about then? Oh, we're protesting against the abuses of Scientology soft jobby. Like it says, David Miscarriage currently in court for child sex abuse, child sex trafficking, forced slave labour, human trafficking, and stalking harassment. He is indeed. I guess there's a few cases he's actively fighting at the moment. Miriam says, check out Scientology, fsciento.space, which we have a sign for that one. I'll just show you that one there now, lads. We have Cult Scientology, learn why we protest at fsciento.space, helping to end their abuse. And here we have listed some of the more commonly known front groups of the cult of Scientology. Some of the more common front groups they operate on, which is Dianetics, Narconon, the Vulture Ministers, Way to Happiness, Applied Scholastics. And we have a drug-free world, Truth About Drugs, Fight for Kids, Criminon, United for Human Rights, Youth for Human Rights, Citizens Commission for Human Rights. So a lot of these front groups are basically Scientology's way of saying that psychiatry is bad. In fact, every single drug on the planet is bad, including life-saving epilepsy medication, cancer medication, ADHD medication. You name it, these guys say It's wrong. So it's not just the illegal drugs they're talking about there. And probably the more common front groups you see out and about would be people with their Dianetics leaflets, the vulture ministers with their creepy tents offering their touch assists, and then possibly True About Drugs. They're probably the main ones, and maybe Way to Happiness you might see out and about as well. That's just something to keep an eye out for, lads, particularly this time of year with the Christmas markets. Keep an eye out for anyone in the red Dianetics jackets and the yellow Vulture Minister jackets in particular. And if you do spot them out and about, be very loud and vocal that they are Scientology and they are human trafficking, child abuse, elder abuse, abusing cult. Make it very hard for them to operate out in the open, trying to recruit people. Oh, exactly, ICC. Yeah, exactly. No more kids in Scientology. And we have this one here. This is a website that our lovely Haggis designed called victimsandvoices.com, which on it is contained some survivor stories. It also contains support and resources available to help victims of Scientology. And there's also legal help that's available to help you how to report Scientology abuses, both through going through the route of through law enforcement and through the civil courts to sue them for every penny they have. So if you've ever been a victim of Scientology in the United States, I highly recommend checking out victimsandvoices.com. I guess it's saying wrong to food. I love air ice cream with raspberry sauce. Oh, something to keep an eye out for. On the hot pink public clues. I think I might have missed a few comments there. There's the SP has Scientology. So Scientology really got its grips in that much over here then. Northern's gonna. Yeah, soft jobby, you do. They have. Scientology seems to have a presence in a lot of countries all over the world. They seem to have some sort of a presence. Even in some like they have a presence in the likes of India, Hong Kong even. I'm not sure if they're still in Japan, but they practically set themselves up shape, same or form everywhere around the world. And yeah, and I fully understand, like, up until 2 years ago, I just thought Scientology was a money scam to alleviate the wealthy fools out of the money. But in the last couple of years, I've listened to so many survivor stories and ex-members of Scientology tell their experience in Scientology. And it's so much more than just a money scam. The levels of abuse that go on from the top down, bottom up, every which way you slice the onion, there's abuse there. And a book I highly recommend that you do check out and read is Jamie Mustard's book, Child X, which tells the story of Jamie's experiences of growing up in the cult of Scientology as a child and the horrific experiences and abuse he suffered. Jamie's story is by no means unique. There's ex-members all around the world who grew up in Scientology as children who reported similar levels of abuse. And that is why I'm out here. That is why I'm out here protesting against Scientology on a Sunday with my signage there. Roger there helping me to spread the message. Stop the abuse cult and no more kids in Scientology. I'm here decked out on my high-vis gear, high-vis cap with cult written on it, high-vis jacket, and I have a high-vis sign around my neck to say, stop forcing disconnections. Child auditing is abuse. No more kids in Scientology. So there's nothing devious or underhand I'm doing. You'll have some Karens going around saying, oh, you're filtering minors. Well, you guys have been watching my footage. Can you identify any minors at all that film today? Take it outside. Once your culture is drowned by diversity, politics or sort of things will be free to inflict the worst authorization, digital hell imaginable. Once your culture is drowned by diversity, politics sort of things will be free to inflict the worst authoritarian digital hell imaginable. You have to think about that one. You have to think and ponder on that one somewhat. Take it outside. That is deep. Well, it could be going, yeah, that man was staring at me. I think he was reading the sign I have around my neck. But that was the same guy that was taking my picture earlier, which doesn't bother me. I have no problem with anyone taking pictures of me. If they want an photograph, I'd be more than happy to sign it for them. Oh, little doubt, Donna, that someone somewhere in Scientology will be watching this stream. Oh, of course, absolutely they will. To see is it... Absolutely. And you're right, Miriam, it is why I am live streaming and I do have the camera rolling, is to prove exactly everything I have done here. And as we can see, like we're quite a distance away, the amount of visibility we have through the camera lens is pretty poor. We're not making any jaw-dropping documentaries here, lads. Do you know what I mean? So it's just ironic, it's just not ironic. It's just laughable that the N-word could be implying you're doing anything sinister to be filming minors. Yeah, exactly, Miriam. First the issue was Irish was harassing staff, and now it's filming kids. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting, I guess. Yeah, what kind of mother is she allowing her minor child to enter a cult that sexually abuses children? Yeah, and that is it. And that is one thing I am hoping to counteract is all the false they pointing that the cult of Scientology have done here. That maybe people here will ask themselves, and the parents will ask themselves, why would I be coming out here every Sunday in the cold, in my high-vis gear, displaying my high-vis signs? That maybe there's a method to my madness. Maybe Scientology is more than just a benevolent, harmless, smiling, friendly cult. Maybe there are some real dangers lurking inside Scientology. So all we can do is plant the seeds of doubt. Yeah, he was trying to intimidate me, but good luck with that, mate. Very hard to intimidate me. I grew up with both a physically and verbally abusive father, so it's pretty tough to intimidate me as an adult. There's not much anyone can do to me that I haven't already experienced as a kid, so good luck with that, mate. You know, that's all I can say to anyone who does try to intimidate me. It's not going to work. Exactly. Well done, young man. I guess there's anything to slander and lie about the critics. Exactly, yeah. Sophia says you can even read license plates on a TV. So you need to calm down and check the changing rooms with cameras inside the building. Exactly. Now, if I was inside the grounds, wandering around, peeking in windows with me camera in hand, zooming in, and if I had a big motherfucker of a lens, well then you'd be able to make an argument that maybe I was filming minors and up to no good. You know what I mean? But I'm just stood here on the roadside, live stream going. I'm chatting to people on the internet, explaining to them why I'm out here, and the abuses of Scientology. I'm now playing like a Christmas tree in all my high-vis gear. Do you know what I mean? It's the people you can't see that aren't operating out in the open is what you need to worry about. That's what they should be worried about, is what is going on behind the scenes in Scientology. That's what they should be more concerned about, lads. Oh yes, coffee always comes first, exactly. I would love an Irish coffee about now. When I'll be now here. I'll give it another 15 minutes. Yeah, I'll do the 2 hours and then I'll head away. Get myself an Irish coffee. Well, certainly. I don't know if this is like this where you are, lads, but when it gets past 4, you always notice a sudden dip in temperature, which is odd the way it just seems to suddenly dip by quite a bit, a noticeable amount. Oh, we've exhausted the playlist. Let me set up them tunes again from the start. There we go. Got the tunes back. Yeah, do you know what, Miriam? I've changed my viewpoint in the last few years. If you'd asked me 2+ years ago, did I see any harm? I would have thought, oh, what's the harm? So might as well. Why wouldn't you utilise a space that's given for very little money or free of charge? Should you be mad not to? But since I've learnt about the abuses that go on, my mindset has changed also there and there. Do you know what? There is actually harm here. At the very least, you have the false safe pointing. You have the false safe pointing going in that these kids are going to grow up. They might know that Scientology is a cult, but they're not necessarily going to know why. And they might think, oh, they're offering a free personality test. They're offering free courses. Oh Jesus, maybe I'll pop in and give it a look. Oh sure, they're always friendly and pleasant to me as a kid when I used to go there from Irish dancing. Do you know what I mean? So this is why I'm out here. Hopefully plant a few seeds of doubt. Maybe question, why would I be out here protesting against Scientology if they are just a harmless, benign outfit? What? Pardon? Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, they don't like it because I'm in the high-vis. People can't fail but see me. It's just to say I don't like the way they run these events. They do a lot of children-friendly events here, and they do offer the space for very little money to entice in, like the Irish dancing and for gymnastics and things like that. It seems to be a common tactic they do all around the world to do what they call false safe pointing. So you kind of grow up and you think, sure, darn, that was that nice friendly place I did in the Irish dancing. So that's why I come out here with my signs, just to plant a few seeds of doubt that maybe before I pop in and do a free personality test or do a free course, maybe I'll do a few Googles. I mean, you wouldn't ask a mass murderer, do you murder people? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So going into Scientology and asking them, you know, so that's why I'm out here just trying to counteract that. Well, it's ridiculous that we allowed them to open here. You're local in the area, you? Yeah. Because I think this place opened in 2007. No, 2017. 2017, so it's not that long ago. And like we knew they were a cult. And even how they're allowed to use the word to say that they're a church and then to say they're community centre. You know, they're not really any of them two things, because it is private property. It's not open to the public. If I was to wander in there now and walk about, they call the guards on me for trespassing. Do you know what I mean? So
I've seen you do before.
Yeah, I come out here most weekends. I come out when I can. Because I work full time, so it's Sundays is normally the best day I can get out here. And I just think it's just, like the way I look at it is, worst case scenario, I'm wasting my time. I'm happy with that. But just maybe someone is coming by, seeing my signs, maybe asking them a question. Well, I didn't know Scientology was abusive. Maybe I'll do some Googles, look into that. And just maybe, I just might prevent someone innocently wandering into the doors. Because once someone does get themselves involved in Scientology, it's very hard just to walk away. You don't realise that from the get-go, when you do the free personality test, you do a free course, you're being subjected to low levels of brainwashing that you don't even know yourself. Because you're talking to nice, friendly people, and they appear like that they're helping you. Do you know what I mean?
What about like what they do? How they get people in there.
It is the way they operate. If you're interested in a book for Christmas, this is one I highly recommend. It's Jamie Muster's Child X. That's a guy, he grew up as a child in Scientology. So he details the level of abuse he went through. And his story is by no means unique. There's a guy in Denmark called Robert Dam. He's collated stories from people all over Europe who grew up as children in different places in Scientology in Europe. That book is going to hopefully come out next year in English. At the moment it's just available in Denmark. Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, thanks for talking to us. Just talking to a lovely young man there. I noticed he was on a skateboard. He stopped. Well, when I say young man, he's late teens. I'd put him at 18, 19, maybe 20. Well, he's there reading my signs, which does show, like I have how many? 3. I have 7 signs with me, and it does show, like you might think of 7 signs, it's overkill, I don't need so many signs. But you just never know which particular sign might catch someone's eye. And I do notice that the people do stop to read my signs. And I even notice some of the cars will slow down to have a bit of a read of them. I guess we're saying, yes, that is what I should be addressing, that the parents have a responsibility to kids to keep them away from paedophiles and sex traffickers. And they walk them into Scientology. Yeah. That's a tough one, alright though. You get people's backs up very, you get the hackles up very quickly if they perceive that you're criticising their parental skills. And I guess I'm sort of doing it more subtly. I'm out here spreading awareness of the abuse of Scientology, that maybe plant some seeds of doubt for these parents, that they'll go off, do their own Googles, and maybe question to themselves, is it a good idea to be bringing my kids here to do the Irish dance and to do the gymnastics? Do you know what I mean? Soft Dobby is an absolutely fantastic name. I know, Soft Dobby, we love the word Dobbies here. Better soft jobbies than hard jobbies. Oh, for fucking sure, yeah. Oh, for sure. Oh man, nobody wants to be trying to land a hard jobby. That's for sure. Yeah, but that is good though. It's good when chat is going too fast for me, because I do enjoy getting the opportunity to talk to people. But someone who stops and wants to engage and chat with me, they're going to ponder on what I say. They're going to go home and they're going to talk to their family, they're going to talk to their family and friends, work colleagues, school friends tomorrow, and say, and talk about the lady they met yesterday protesting against the abuse of Scientology. That in itself is another way of spreading the message. Oh yes, soft jobby, oh yes. we've all mistaken a fart that has turned out to be something more sinister. And where we've had to buy an emergency pair of pants, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much, Soft Jobby, for liking and subscribing. Oh, Sophia is currently having her second portion of stew. Nice. Oh, I'm 20 minutes behind, chat. Hope I've nearly caught up. People are talking about food and I'm starting to get very hungry now. I do have a bag of kale, cheese and onion in my backpack I could eat. I'll leave that till I'm going away. Yeah, I love getting the local support. Like, we've had a couple of Karens, alright, but by and large the local people here appreciate what I'm doing, which is good. It's encouraging when people acknowledge that, you know. Oh, I'm forgetting my words. Oh, there we have T. Hey T, how are you? Oh, I love these. I'm not a fan of Christmas music, but I absolutely love Joe's twists on the Christmas tunes. Jojo says, I love a watermelon salad with mint leaves, fresh feta, cucumber, olive oil, white wine vinegar and pink Himalaya salt and ground pepper. I'm not really a big salad person. I do force feed myself a little bit of salad every now and then, under the mistaken illusion that it might just be good for my health. I don't particularly enjoy salad. Oh yes, putting cinnamon in the most food, Sophia. Yeah, that would make the house smell good. Absolutely. Cathy is having ham, egg, cheese, scramble. That is healthy. Egg and cheese are most definitely healthy. Ham, it depends on how much artificial muck is in it. But that is a pretty good breakfast. Or lunch. Just got to the jobby chat. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, Skyfire, Roger made it back home. And I made him, oh Jesus, I'm getting stiff. I made him a little jumper vest there. I'm not sure if you can see that he has a nice little oar there built into his vest. I did him a nice little oar into his sweater vest to keep him nice and warm. I'm getting very stiff. That's one thing I do notice when I'm standing out here. As I get closer to the 2-hour mark, my body is just ridiculously stiff. Irish is behind in the chat, so I'll get back to you in about 15 minutes. Oh jeez. Someone beeping their horn, fantastic. Cathy is healthy enough to count as balanced. Yeah, it's a healthy, yeah, you're right Sophie, it's a healthy, well-balanced meal. Oh, he did, he left for Target to tell Hubbard, but promptly returned. Exactly. Roger most definitely did. Oh yes, thanks very much, Soft Jobby. Yeah, T, I do suspect that the locals complained and they were forced to take it down. I suspect the locals complained to the Dublin County Council that governs this area. Oh, T misses my face. There's my lovely face there now, T. My lovely face. And the shopping bags underneath me eyes. I need to go to bed early tonight. Yeah, I did. I glossed over some of the chat alright to try and catch up. I am, yeah.
How do we go about getting people to join our...
If you want to check out my channel, I have my email address on my.
I don't know how. We're not on the camera now, are we?
Oh no, you're not. It's I know.
I'll run off.
I know. I always try not to deliberately capture people on.
I'm not on at all, am I?
No, it's we're looking at grass at the moment.
I just.
I'm always mindful, even though I wouldn't be doing anything wrong if I was pointing the camera. But if I was out in public, I wouldn't want to be appearing on 100 random live streams.
I'm not embarrassed about being here, being on camera. I'm not ready for the camera.
Oh no, that's fair enough. I try to be.
Would be interested. I think it's a disgrace how it went up. I don't know how they got away with it. Absolutely unbelievable.
Well, it's because there was, I loosely call it, there was a church here before.
What church?
Oh, it's one of these culty ones. It's one of these ones. I can't remember the name of it. But it's one of these ones. You know the way they have these. You know the way they have a pastor. Them type of Christian type of. And because it was already zoned for religious use, that's how they were able to. But it just shows that there are changes need to be in law, because they're not the only. They're not the only cult in existence. So that's my YouTube channel there. That's the devious hook to get you in.
Yeah, they get you though.
I want you to know, because what they'll do is they'll never say to someone, "Oh fuck me, you're absolutely perfect." It's 200 questions and they're bizarre. They'll say, "Oh, there's this and this is wrong with you." We're a free course that will help you with your confidence. Go and do a free course, and then you'll do that. And then they'll say, "Oh yeah, we have this follow-up course. You still need some improvement with this follow-up course for 100 quid." And then it'll keep going up. It'll be 200. You'll get into where a course might be 20 grand.
One of the most dangerous things I've ever seen. One of the most dangerous things I've seen at the back of that place. You hear this? I go walking. I didn't walk around. And you know what's on the back? They took the sign down from the back of that church.
Piss off and mind your own business. Piss off and mind your own business. My road now, fuck off.
Well, I'm going to knacker. They had in the back of it there.
I wonder if that someone came out of the.
Probably came out of there, yeah.
Yeah. Because that isn't a normal Irish reaction.
They had
do you know what I mean?
They had an invitation. She sounds English. They had an invitation. The back of the plaque saying, "Come on in."
Yeah.
For a seat. So imagine all the children walking up and down there going in for prayer now.
And that's why I come out here, just to try and plant some seeds of doubt. Why would I be out here on my day off? So that's all I'm trying to do, is counteract.
Is a person with you? If anybody belongs to you in a cult?
No, but over the last few years, I've listened to so many stories of people who grew up in Scientology. Oh yeah, sorry. But because the last few years I've listened to so many stories of survivors who either joined the adults or grew up as kids, and just their stories are just, their level of abuse is fucking horrific. It's like nothing I've ever heard in all my 50 years of life, and that insensitised me. Is I have to do something. Even if worst case scenario, I'm out wasting my time, I'm happy with that. Just on the off chance that maybe someone will see me and they'll say, or maybe I better do some Google to find out, because maybe there is some harm going in for a free personality test.
I wouldn't touch it.
Do you know what I mean?
And I wouldn't let her, and I wouldn't let me. No.
And because we also have
I have sisters like that.
they do proactively, because a lot of English speaking people know that they're cult and they're abusive cult. They practically target immigrants where English wouldn't be the first language. And then, because I know, one of the days I heard there's a chap, he was a Chinese chap who was saying to me, but they're a church. And I was trying to say, no, they say they're a church, that doesn't mean they're a church. And I was explaining to him the way that the word church, anybody could call themselves a church. There's no that isn't a protected
They're
word.
not paying tax, you see, then they can be called a religion if they're not paying tax. And then if they, that's why they get away with not paying tax. But it's a pub.
Yeah. See you now. Oh my goodness, I don't think I'm ever going to catch up and chat. Let me zoom down to the bottom. Apologies to anyone that I've missed. I just had a lovely conversation there with two women. I gave them my card and they're going to drop me an email that they might be interested in coming out and joining me out here protesting, which would be absolutely great. It'd be great to have the company out here. Or even to have more people out here, even to pop out when they have the free time. Where are we at? We're at 20 to 5. It's starting to getting that bit dark here, so I might think about packing it up, lads, and making my way home. But I'll leave the live going on a little bit longer until I'm safely away, and I'll go back and I'll catch up and chat later. So I just Blanky's down there in front of Roger. Oh my goodness. I really am so stiff. I do like to be away from this place while I still have the daylight and the visibility. I can make sure there's nobody following behind. There's nobody following behind me. Apologies for that unexpected burp that even caught me unawares. Grab up, get me signage there. Definitely can feel a drop in temperature, lads. Definitely, I would say it's most definitely on the chilly side now. Definitely be very happy to get a hot drink inside of myself. Maybe a medicinal drop of whiskey or two. Most definitely wouldn't go amiss. Roger signs. Roger signs in here. Bottle of water. There we are now. Let's just do a quick scan of the area. I'm not leaving behind any rubbish and I have everything packed up there with me. And I'll bring you with me as we walk safely away from the cult. Oh my goodness, lads. The temperature really has dropped here. And it has gotten just a little bit chilly. Oh, thanks very much, Cathy. I have great respect for all you do, Cathy. You're a great support to many of us out here. Oops. These picking sausage fingers of mine. As all counts, lads. Me coming out here, you guys watching and supporting on the live stream, I wouldn't rate one activity over the other. They're all equally as important and vital, I would say. Because you guys are keeping me safe. You guys are my eyes and ears while I'm out here. Yeah, that's it, Cathy. We all do what we can. And it's really fantastic what you do, Cathy, if I may say so myself. Just taking another look behind just to make sure. I do like to make sure that there's nobody within line of sight behind me and in front of me. Because you just never know. You just never know where there might be Scientologists might happen to be out and about. And who knows, do you know what I mean? I just don't, based on everything we've seen all around the world of interactions people have with Scientologists, I don't trust them for 1 second. And if a Scientologist is in, shall we say, we'll loosely call it low conditions, who knows what they might be incentivized to do. Do you know what I mean? So I just don't take any chances. I think it's as well to play it safe. And anyway, when you're out and about, walking by yourself, it's no harm to be aware of your surroundings anyway, if you know what I mean. Oh man, it really is. Fuck me. It really is. Gone a bit nippy here, lads. Oh. Oh my goodness, don't tell me there are people playing in the park. A bit too cold to be playing on swings and whatnot. Time we're at, we're 4:45. It's already getting dark. When do we get the mid-December, isn't it, when we get the shortest day and then the days get longer again? Certainly looking forward to the longer days. We're probably safe enough, far enough away from the coast now. Most definitely, Pinky, yeah. I'll certainly be on my way home, and I'm looking forward to having an Irish whiskey or two to warm up. -4°C. Yeah, I do hope it's not going to be too cold on Thursday, Joe. Actually, I forgot to mention that, lads. On Thursday, I'm going to be in Edinburgh visiting some of the Christmas markets there. Where we're going to be on the lookout to see if there's any vulture ministers or Dianetics lads out and about in the Christmas markets. I will maybe do a surprise pop-up at the Edinburgh Org as well, if we have time. So keep an eye out for that. Probably be, again I go over them and whatnot. It'll probably be sometime between, say, 1 and 2 o'clock in the afternoon, our time. So I think it's nice and clear. Nobody up or down the street, so I think now is a good time to oh yes, it's this Thursday, Donna, yeah. Thursday coming up. I'll be over in Edinburgh and I'm going to make my way home, and more importantly, pick up a warm drink somewhere and maybe a drop of whiskey or two. So I want to thank you all for joining me today and helping to keep me safe. So until next time,